Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amul's Academy. Today in this tutorial we'll write a program to check whether entered number is Fibonacci number or not. We already discussed about the Fibonacci series, a series of number in which each number is the sum of the two preceding numbers. For example, this is the Fibonacci series, okay? Here each number is the sum of the two preceding numbers. For example, here 1 is the sum of 1 and 0, 2 is the sum of 1 and 1, 3 is the sum of 1 and 2. And here this number is called as Fibonacci number. 0 is a Fibonacci number, 1 is a Fibonacci number, 3 is a Fibonacci number, 5 is a Fibonacci number. We already discussed about a program to print the Fibonacci series. Today we'll write the program to check whether entered number is Fibonacci number or not. For example, if I enter number as 5 is a Fibonacci number, right? So it will give the output as it is a Fibonacci number. If I enter 4 is not a Fibonacci number. Here we can't see 4 in this series, right? So we'll get the output as 4 is not a Fibonacci number. To print the next Fibonacci number in the Fibonacci series, we need to add two preceding numbers, right? Along with this, there is another interesting property about the Fibonacci number, that is, a number is Fibonacci if and only if one or both of the 5 multiply n square plus 4 or 5 multiply n square minus 4 is a perfect square. A number n is a Fibonacci number if and only if the result of this one or both of the formula should be a perfect square. For example, if I take n as 5, okay, so we are checking whether 5 is Fibonacci number or not. I'll substitute 5 here. So 5 square is 25. 25 into 5 is 125. 125 plus 4 is 129. So here 125 minus 4, so that is nothing but 121. So here 129 is not a perfect square, right? But 121 is a perfect square. So 11 square is 121. So 121 is a perfect square. That means 5 is a Fibonacci number. Either this or this should be a perfect square, or both should be a perfect square. So if I take n as 4, so 5 multiply 4 square plus 4, 5 multiply 4 square minus 4. 4 square is 16. 16 into 5, it is 80. 80 plus 4, 84. So here 80 minus 4, that is 76. Both this result are not perfect square, right? 84 is not a square number as well as 76 is not a square number. So 4 is not a Fibonacci number. So this is another property of Fibonacci number, and today we are using this property to check entered number is Fibonacci or not. So let's write the program now. In the Python file, first we need to take the input. We need to ask the user to enter a number to check that number is Fibonacci or not. So that is nothing but I need to enter the value for n. So I'll take the variable name as n, and I'll take input function to take input from the user. I'll write a message here, enter the number, and we are using Python 3. By default, this input function will take input as the string value, but here we want a number, integer number. That's why I'm using int function to convert the string input to integer input. So now if I enter 5, that integer value will be stored in the variable n. In today's video, two formulas are very important, that is 5 multiply n square plus 4 or 5 multiply n square minus 4. Okay. So now we know the value of n, right? We'll ask the user to enter the value of n. So we can solve that formula and we can get a result, right? So I'll store that result in a variable. For that, I'll take a variable called result1, and I'll take 5 multiply n, that is 5n square plus 4. This is the first formula, 5 multiply n square plus 4. Next I'll take result 2. That is, this is the second formula. So we ask the user to enter the n value. So we know the n value now, so we can solve this formula. If you take different variable name here, for example, if you take num, you need to take that variable name here also, right? So now We have n value. Using that n value, we can solve the two formulas and we'll get the result now. We'll get this result now. Now we need to check this is the perfect square or not. So how to do that? To check the result is perfect square or not, or whether it is the square number or not, we'll define a separate function and we'll check that number is perfect square or not in that function. So here I'll define a function at the beginning of the program. So I'll take the function name as perfect square. You can take any name. So here I'll take x. X is nothing but the variable which will hold the result. We need to check the result or this value, right? Whether this is perfect square or not. So we need to take a single parameter here. Next, how to check a number is perfect square or not? For that, what we will do here is, first we'll find out the square root of this number. And next, we'll convert that number to integer. For example, 121 is our result. We'll find out the square root of this. So that is nothing but 11. Next, I'll convert this value to integer. So I'll get 11. Then I'll multiply that value twice. If I get 121, so that is nothing but that is the perfect square. If I take 84, if I find out the square root of 84, so that is 9.16 something. When I convert this number to integer, I'll get 9. So if I multiply 9 again, I'll get 81, not 84. So if I check this value and this value, it won't match. That is nothing but it is not a perfect square. So what I'll do is, first I need to find out the square root of this x. So to find out the square root of the value, I'll use a built-in function square root. For that I need to import math module because that function belongs to math module. So import math, and here I'll take a variable to store the result and I'll take math.square root sqrt and x. Okay, it will find out the square root of the value and it will give the result in the float. Next, I need to convert the result to int. Next, I'll take return and I'll check s multiply s is equal to x. If it is true, then this function will return true. That is nothing but if the number is perfect square, the function returns true. If it is not, this function return false. That is nothing but this condition become false if that number is not perfect square. Alright, so next here I'll check the result. I'll call this function of result1 or result2. Here what I'm doing is, here we got the result by solving this formula. Now we need to check that value is perfect square or not. So for that I'm calling this function and I'm passing result1 and result2. Here I'm using logical OR because here if any one of this condition is true, that means that number is Fibonacci number, right? That's why here I used logical OR operator. If any one of this condition is true, print n is Fibonacci number. Else print is not Fibonacci number. So now if I save this and run this, I can enter the value as 5. 5 is a Fibonacci number. If I enter 4, 4 is not a Fibonacci number. 1 is a Fibonacci number. 0 is a Fibonacci number. 10 is not a Fibonacci number. So next, let's take an example and we'll see how this program works line by line. Here first we can see the first line is import math. So it will import that math module. And here we can see the function definition. So the function definition will execute only when that function is called. Okay. So the execution of the program begins from here. It will take the input from the user. For example, if I enter 4, it will store that value in the variable n. Next it will execute next statement. So it will solve this formula 5 multiply n into n plus 4. So we'll get 84, right? That will be stored in result 1. Next it will solve this formula, we'll get 76 I guess. That will be stored in result 2. Next this condition will be executed if perfect square result 1. This is the function call, so the control goes to the function body. Perfect square result 1. Result 1 is 84. So perfect square of 84. This is a function call. So when it sees the function call, the control goes to the function body. So x value becomes 84. So it will find out the square root of 84. So if square root of 84 is 9.16 something, right? It will find out that value and will convert that to integer. So we'll get 9 here. S as 9. Next it will execute return s multiply s is equal to x. S multiply s is 81 and x value is 84. It is not equal. So this function returns false. So we'll get false here. Okay, this condition become false. So it will check the next condition, perfect square result 2. So here result 2 is 76. So again the control goes to the function definition. X is 76. It will find out the square root of that. 76 square root is something 8.71 something. So it will convert that to int. So we'll get s as 8. 8 multiply 8 is 64 here and x value is 76. It is not equal, so it will return false. So both condition become false, so it will execute the else condition, that is it is not a Fibonacci number. So 4 is not a Fibonacci number. If I enter 5 here, so n value become 5. So 5 multiply 5 square plus 4. So we'll get 129 and this will get 121. So first it will execute perfect square of result 1, that is nothing but 129. So the control goes to here, x value is 129. It will find out the square root of that. I think we will get 11 point something, and if I convert that to int, it will become 11. So s value become 11. 11 multiply 11 is 121 and x value is 129. So it is not equal. So this function return false. Here this becomes false. Next it will execute this condition, perfect square result 2. Result 2 is 121. So here the x value becomes 121. It will find out the square root of that is 11. So it will convert that to int. So it will become 11. So s value is 11. So it will check 11 multiply 11, that is 121 is equal to x value, which is also 121. So this condition becomes true. So this function return true here. So false or true, that is nothing but true. If any one of the condition is true, so this is true. So it will print this message as n is a Fibonacci number. Here using this int function is very important. When the number is not perfect square, we'll get the fraction numbers, right? 11 point something. When I convert that to int and when we square that number, it won't match the x value. So converting that result to integer is important here. Okay, so this is about the program to check whether entered number is Fibonacci number or not. That's it for now guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet you next class. Till then, take care.